Welcome to my November 2018 County Legislative Update. I am your Onondaga County Legislator, Kevin Holmquist. We have a new county executive, Ryan McMahon. Joni Mahoney has left the county government. She's working now for ESF in upstate, and we have a new county executive. I was honored to be asked by Ryan to nominate him from the floor of the county legislature. And I just think he is a breath of fresh air. I've talked to a lot of elected officials across the county. Everybody is euphoric, very, very excited to have Ryan on board. He is collaborative, he's cooperative, he wants to work together. So he's having a series of town hall meetings right out of the gate. And we are also honored to have had Ryan McMahon select the town of Manlius as his first town hall in our village of Fayetteville Hall. So we were hosted by Mayor Mark Olson and the village of Fayetteville. It was very well attended. I think it's extremely symbolic and very powerful that he chose Fayetteville and our town of Manlius as his first place to come speak, to send a message that we are in this together and we are working together. There are a lot of great issues coming up in the upcoming year. The appointment of Ryan is good through the end of 2019. So the county legislature voted, and we had much Democrat support in the legislature, which was terrific. He's going to be in office for the next 14 months, and then he's running for re-election for a 4-year term. And also in November of 2019, we'll have the entire county legislature up for re-election, and I too will be running for re-election. You heard it here first. So Ryan and I will be running together. It'll be a great year next year. We're very, very excited. So at the town hall, Ryan McMahon outlined his 3 areas of focus, and they are infrastructure, number 1, with a real emphasis on sewers. We've talked about it a lot here. We're going to dedicate an entire video to that because it's a big issue coming up. I think it's the biggest issue in the next decade for local governments, for many people in Onondaga County. So infrastructure, number 1. Number 2, economic development. Ryan has a lot of experience. He used to serve in the city of Syracuse government, and he was, of course, was the chairman of the county legislature. So he's been active in economic development, but now in his role as county executive, he can effectuate a lot of change. And one of his first acts as county executive has been to announce a nationwide search for a new economic development director. We're looking for the best of the best, somebody that really understands Central New York and can turn this around. Ryan knows what's working and he knows what's not working, so that's a top priority for him, and we're looking forward to having a new director. Finally, Ryan is focusing, number 3, on poverty. One of the biggest issues, and it's an embarrassment for Central New York to have such widespread poverty relative to other communities. It's unacceptable. We have urban poverty, suburban poverty, and rural poverty that is much too big of an issue, and we have got to turn this around. So Ryan understands that government can't eliminate poverty, and there's a role for us to play. But in the county, we have a critical and vital role in that we administer all the federal and state social programs, including Medicaid and many of the other programs, WIC and so forth, that the county administers, and we have a lot of opportunity for improving the way we deliver those services. And I can tell you that the county employees are very excited to have Ryan McMahon on board, and I think that's going to help us address that issue. Finally, all of this is in the context of the sales tax sharing agreement. For those of you that follow local government, you know that every 10 years there are several $billions at stake in revenue for local governments. This affects the villages, it affects the towns, it affects the city, the county, and all of our school districts. And 10 years ago, it was not a very cordial series of meetings that we had. There was a lot of screaming and yelling. The mayor at the time did not get along with the county executive at the time. There were fights between suburbs and the city, all nonsensical fights that really set the tone for a bad series of years ahead. Even so, the county legislature, which is responsible for voting on this, did come up with a unanimous agreement, and I authored in part the village infrastructure program, which helped alleviate a lot of the concerns in the villages, and we had a lot of successes, but it was a terrible process, and nobody really wanted to go through that again. So our new county executive has set out with the mayor of the city of Syracuse to meet in advance, and they've had a series of meetings already with the mayors of our 15 villages, the supervisors of our 19 towns, and all the school districts, and we've worked together. They've had a series of meetings, and the goal is to come up with an agreement that we're in this together. We need a strong city to have a strong region of Onondaga County. We need strong villages to make sure that the region of each of those villages is strong. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we can do together, namely the pipes and the sewers. So we're going to have a lot of great discussions coming up. I'm very, very excited. There will be a new era of collaboration and cooperation in our local government, and we're getting to work on this right away. So these town hall meetings will continue. I will keep you updated here. Just to remind you, these video updates can be found on kevinholmquist.com, also on my Facebook page, Kevin Holmquist, and Kevin Holmquist for Onondaga County Legislature, as well as my Twitter page, @Kevin Holmquist. I am your voice for good government in local government. I'm your Onondaga County Legislator, Kevin Holmquist. We'll see you next month.